So that question, that topic is a huge area of concern for me and for my clients. In fact, when I come across people who have any type of wealth, their number one concern is not the amount of wealth that they're transmitting to their kids. Their number one concern is what the kids are going to do with the money and how quickly they're going to run through it and be broke. So typically in our country, money is completely dissipated and spent within a generation, within a few years, in fact. And so, the Bible says wisdom is good with an inheritance. Wisdom is good with an inheritance. So that tells me that if you're going to leave your kids wealth, material wealth, financial wealth, dollars, you need to engage in a course of instruction and education with those kids so that they know, first of all, that the money is not all for them. Of course, they're going to be stewards over those resources during their lifetime, and they're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of those resources, but they also have an obligation to the rest of the family and to future generations to preserve and grow and protect those resources so that a family legacy can be created. So that ultimately we can have kids and grandkids and great-grandkids who don't have to concern themselves with a job that they hate, with 40 years of work at a company or an industry that they have no real interest in, but that they can concern themselves with really doing good for themselves and the community and the country and the world at large. I mean, we have kind of larger goals and visions in mind. We want to help people do good for others. And one of the ways that we can help people do good for others is by getting them to understand the value of material wealth. So back even before we engage in that process of education, we want to embark on a relationship with our client. So at the very essence of the work that we do, we want to engage in a long-term relationship. So I want to know what my client's about. I want to know what their goals are. I want to know what their causes are. I want to know what their hobbies are. I want to know what their kids are doing. I want to know why they want to become wealthy. And I've gotten very few people able to verbalize to me exactly why they wanted to become wealthy. But instead, they tell me they wanted to become wealthy for obvious reasons. And if you look around you, you're going to find a whole bunch of people who are not wealthy. You're going to find a whole bunch of people who have had dollars, thousands and millions of dollars slip through their fingers during their working lifetime, but they didn't have the wisdom, the focus, the intention to create wealth with those dollars. But they enjoyed the fruits of those dollars, and they actually went through and dissipated all the capital and didn't have any left over for even their own future, let alone the future of the next generation. And we go back to the very beginning of that, is because they didn't understand the value of capital, the value of principle, the value of basis, as we call it. And so it's a very foundational problem that we have in America, which is we always think that there's going to be more money at the end of next paycheck, next month, next quarter, next year. And we always think that we'll be able to make more money. And therefore, at the very essence of it, there's no real need to save. But if your only concern is supporting your own family, immediate family, and eating and putting a roof over your own head and taking care of your own annual vacations, then you really don't have a real significant urge or desire or passion to create legacy for the future. So we're looking for people of character. We're looking for people who want to create something outside themselves, somebody who wants to create a larger footprint than the one they occupy right now. And that footprint would constitute their legacy going into the next 100, 200 years.